Across 3 continents, cameras have captured 3-eye atlas like never before. From Spain to Thailand to Norway, astronomers are witnessing a visitor from another star system behaving in ways that defy expectations. Each new image adds to the tension, showing the object under different skies, yet hinting at something hidden within. As it moves closer, an uneasy feeling spreads. 3-eye atlas is not just passing through, and its secrets may be more disturbing than anyone imagine. The unexpected update. The update on 3-eye atlas arrived without warning. No one expected this new information about 3-eye atlas, yet suddenly 3 countries reported fresh images on the same night. What made this moment even stranger was that the images came from Spain, Thailand, and Norway, 3 regions with totally different skies and weather. Still, every camera captured the same unusual behavior from the object. It was as if 3-eye atlas wanted to be seen at that exact moment. The images did not show a breakup or any kind of collapse. Instead, they revealed something happening deep inside the object, something that did not match normal behavior of a visitor from another star system. This was the beginning of a mystery that astronomers had not been prepared for. To understand why these new images shook the scientific community, we must go back to the beginning. On July 1 in the year 2025, the survey telescope called Atlas first spotted the object. Atlas is an early warning system based in Rio Todo in Chile. It watches the sky for fast-moving objects that could one day come close to Earth. During a routine scan, it detected something moving at an unusual speed. The first report listed the object under a temporary name that scientists use until they learn more. It was called A11PL3Z. Very soon researchers discovered older images that no one had noticed before. The Zwicky Transient Facility had already captured the object in mid-June. These pre-discovery images were extremely important because they allowed astronomers to calculate a more accurate path and understand what they were dealing with. The next step revealed the first major surprise. The path was hyperbolic. This means the object was not tied to the gravity of the Sun. It was only passing through our solar system and would never return. The only way this could happen was if it came from outside our solar system. With this confirmation, it received its permanent name. It became known as 3-eye atlas. The number 3 marked it as only the 3rd interstellar visitor ever recorded. The letter I stood for interstellar, and atlas honored the telescope that found it. From that moment, it became one of the rarest sights ever witnessed by humans. Only 2 other objects from another star system had ever been confirmed. For astronomers, this was a chance unlike any other. They studied its speed, its brightness, and its strange shape. Everything seemed normal until the recent update arrived from across the world and brought new tension to the story. The first signs of something wrong began to appear from Spain's quiet night sky. Spain's crystal clear core. The observer in Extremadura in Spain had set up the camera for a long exposure, which normally causes the stars in the background to appear as streaks of light. This happens because the Earth continues to rotate during the shot. Even with these streaks stretching across the frame, the central structure of 3-eye atlas remained perfectly sharp. It held its shape in a way that did not match the behavior of a fast-moving interstellar object. There were no signs of cracks, no signs of bending light, and no signs of dust spreading outward. It looked clean and perfectly stable. This single detail confused astronomers because objects traveling at such high speed usually show some kind of stress. Either the light around them changes slightly or the surface begins to shed small particles. In this frame, nothing like that happened. Instead, the center of 3-eye atlas looked even stronger than before. The most surprising feature was an asymmetric glow near the forward axis. This glow had been seen before, but never with such sharpness. In the Spanish image, it appeared brighter with a clearer edge, as if something inside the core was becoming more active. The glow did not flicker or stretch. It remained steady and firm, which suggested a consistent release of energy rather than a random burst. Even more puzzling was the intensity center of the object. It looked extremely stable. The brightness was evenly distributed and did not break under the long exposure. This level of stability is rare for natural bodies moving through different conditions. It raised questions about what kept the core so firm and why its light behaved in such a controlled manner. The same strange stability appears again thousands of kilometers away. Thailand's perfect ring formation. While the images from Spain had already captured the attention of astronomers, the observation from Rayong in Thailand deepened the mystery of Three-Eye Atlas. That night, the sky over Rayong was far from perfect. Thin clouds drifted across the frame, and the high humidity softened the edges of almost every bright object. Normally, these conditions would distort or blur the appearance of any fast-moving target, making it difficult to see details. Yet, despite the clouds and moisture, the frame revealed something extraordinary. The brightness profile of Three-Eye Atlas matched the Spanish observations almost exactly. Its shape, glow, and intensity appeared consistent, as if the comet were behaving according to its own internal design rather than being influenced by the atmosphere. At the very center of the object, the glow formed an almost perfect circular ring, a concentrated halo surrounding a darker interior. This was not the kind of random pattern that reflected light would normally produce. The ring appeared precise and controlled, hinting at an internal stability that seemed impossible for an object moving at such incredible speeds. This ring, the outer layers arranged themselves in what looked like stacked shells. Each shell radiated a softer glow, forming a layered halo that expanded outward. The layers did not blur together. Instead, they created clean steps in brightness that gave the object a strangely organized and deliberate appearance. Perhaps the most astonishing detail was the brightness gradient. When scientists compared the Thai frame with the one from Spain, they found that the changes in brightness from the core to the outer shells aligned with remarkable precision. Two images captured thousands of kilometers apart, under vastly different atmospheric conditions, matched almost perfectly. Such consistency suggested that some internal mechanism or force was controlling the light or energy release within Three-Eye Atlas. Nothing about the pattern looked accidental. The more astronomers studied it, the clearer it became. This interstellar visitor was behaving in ways that defied expectation, as if it carried secrets not meant for Earth. As the world compares the frames, Norway captures something that changes the conversation entirely. Norway's twisting tail. The next major clue came from the quiet skies of Bordal in Norway. Compared to the long exposure images from Spain and the soft atmospheric frames from Thailand, the Norwegian observation was captured in only 1 hour. Even with this shorter exposure time, the level of detail was far what astronomers expected. The most striking feature was the tail extending from Three-Eye Atlas. It did not appear as a smooth and simple stream. Instead, it held a clear structure that revealed something new about the object's behavior. Along the tail, a faint curl appeared, almost like a soft twist running through the stream of material. This curl was not the result of wind patterns in the atmosphere or camera shake. It stayed consistent through the exposure, which meant it was coming from the object itself. The curl suggested that Three-Eye Atlas was not moving through space in a simple straight line. It was rotating. A spinning interstellar object can cause material to be pushed outward unevenly, which creates exactly this kind of curling effect. The pattern looked natural for something that was turning steadily as it traveled. This new detail was important because it added motion to a picture that had previously looked perfectly symmetrical. The Spain and Thailand images had shown stable light patterns and firm inner structures. They gave the impression of a calm, steady object. The Norway frame revealed that beneath that calm appearance there was real movement happening. The rotation could explain why certain parts of the core glowed more strongly and why the outer shells were arranged in layers. It also raised new questions about what force was driving the spin and how it stayed so balanced across different conditions. With this new curl and the clear shape of the tail, Norway brought a new dimension to the mystery. The object was not only stable but also active in a controlled and steady way. Observers soon notice another clue appearing far away in the United States. The Virginia Wide Field revelation. The next major piece of evidence arrived from Virginia in the United States. This frame was taken with a wide field setup, which allowed the camera to capture a much larger portion of the sky than the earlier observations. Because of this wide view, the tail of Three-Eye Atlas appeared far longer than in any previous image. It stretched across the frame in a thin, bright line that held together even though the object was moving at very high speed. Most tails from natural bodies begin to fade or scatter when viewed over such a large area. The Virginia shot showed the complete opposite. The tail remained clear, steady, and organized from end to end. Even though the emissions were faint, the structure did not break apart. There were no signs of sudden gaps or uneven clumps that usually appear when a natural object releases dust or gas. Instead, the tail kept a consistent width as if a controlled force was shaping it. This detail supported what the earlier observations had already suggested. The object was active. It was rotating steadily, and that rotation was pushing material outward in a planned and smooth flow. The halo around the object seemed to be growing as well. Each new observation showed the outer layers expanding little by little, as if more energy or material was being released over time. Yet the center of 3I Atlas remained completely untouched. No matter how long the exposure was or how wide the field of view became, the core showed the same firm brightness. It did not flicker or weaken. It did not stretch or twist. It remained perfectly stable, which added to the mystery of how it could stay so calm while everything around it displayed movement and activity. When the global images are aligned side by side, the true pattern becomes impossible to ignore. With these images, scientists are revealing some chemical secrets of 3I Atlas. Surprising chemical secrets. Before these surprising images, the mystery of 3I Atlas deepened when the James Webb Space Telescope, one of humanity's most powerful observatories, turned its gaze toward the interstellar visitor. Using infrared spectroscopy while the object was still about 3.32 astronomical units from the Sun and moving inbound, JWST revealed details that astronomers had only dreamed of uncovering so early in a comet's journey. These observations offered a glimpse not just at its appearance but at the chemistry hidden within, hinting at the environment where 3I Atlas originally formed. The telescope detected a coma rich in carbon dioxide, far more than what is typically seen in solar system comets. Water was also present, along with carbon monoxide, carbonyl sulfide, water ice, and dust particles. Share your thoughts in the comments, like and subscribe channel.